Hey everyone, thanks for giving us a listen. Just a quick editing note. By accident, we skipped over Matt Perella due to a spill during recording. So I will be recording the part about him alone and inserting it into the middle of the episode. So if you hear something that sounds out of place, that's why. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoy. Hello and welcome to the Keeper's Corner podcast with your hosts Matt Sterling and Brandon and Michelle Brooks. We are breaking down anything and everything Utica City. Let's go. Hello everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Keeper's Corner podcast. I'm Matt Sterling.
I'm Michelle.
Brandon here.
We are members of the Utica City Keepers. The Keepers are a group of diehard fans. We're loud, raucous,
Obnoxious.
kind of confrontational with both refs and opposing players. As of last season, the team was affiliated with the supporter group. Not really sure if that's going to happen this year. There hasn't been any announcement, but we're hoping to hear.
And if you want to learn more, of course, it's still on their website, and we do have a Facebook page, so that's out there for us.
Give us a look. We're in section 212. We're hoping to do this on a weekly schedule, release throughout the season, give breakdowns of the games, look ahead, and hopefully we'll have some success. Let's start, I guess, by looking back at last year.
Yeah.
It was Utica's first season in the league. They went 17-7 in the regular season, 8-4 on the road, 9-3 at home. Pretty solid record.
Definitely for an introduction season. I mean, the city used to be, of course, the Syracuse Silver Knights. But, so a lot of the team was already together, but coming into it, new team, new setting, and being able to adapt, I mean, definitely came out of it pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean, to come in and actually, to come from Syracuse, to come in on your inaugural season and win the division was pretty solid.
Yeah, I guess we should mention that. Eastern Division regular season champs. Didn't quite work out the way we wanted it in the playoffs. Big road win in Baltimore, 12-9. But then to lose at home, 7-3. Force the mini game and lose that 2-1. For anyone at the Adirondack Bank Center, you know how frustrating that was and how...
I mean, that was a whole night and day situation. I mean, you look at how the city was on the road, and they were stellar. They were playing their hearts out down in Baltimore, but as soon as they got home, it just felt like they were not in it that entire game. Either one of them. I mean, they definitely seemed like they stepped it up in the mini game, but, the initial loss was... They kind of... almost deserved to lose the way that they were playing at that time. It was like they just didn't want to keep going.
Baltimore came out with more intensity, got an early lead, and...
Well, I mean, even Utica has always been a team that was really connected. Like, the players constantly knew what needed to be done. Everyone was basically on their A game, and that game was just, nothing felt right. They didn't seem, like Brandon said, they just weren't with it. They were disconnected. It wasn't...
Yep.
After that, the season wrapped up, and congratulations to the Milwaukee Wave on winning the Ron Newman Cup.
Absolutely.
Good season by your team, and we'll hope to take it from you and bring it to Utica this year.
Well, that's always the hope, but whether or not, we pull it off is another story, but, we're going to be hoping we do.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think any team starts out the season that says, I don't want to get it.
We're going to lose.
We're going to lose. You're going to do great.
Yeah, this isn't the NBA. No tanking. Season wrapped up. Good first season. looking for, obviously, some improvements in the postseason. And I would say to those ends, Tommy Tanner went out and they hit the open free agency hard. We got 4 new guys during that period. A 5th was added a little bit later due to injury. We'll get to him. So this is the part that I had mentioned before the episode started. Matt, sorry, forgot about you. Period. Perella spent the past 2 years in Syracuse and Harrisburg. He started 12 games last year for the Heat, allowing 6.71 goals. If I had to guess, the reason Tommy went and got Perella is so that Coughlin can get some rest throughout the season. Obviously, we'd love for the Wall of Steel to play all 24 games again, but it doesn't hurt to have your starting keeper a little bit more rested towards the end of the season, getting a day off on back-to-backs. You see it in other sports. It's only going to help the team. Plus, Matt's already familiar with his teammates and Coach Ryan Hall, so really nothing negative to look at here. The team knew what they were getting in him, and we look forward to seeing him here in Utica. Back to the regularly recorded portion of this podcast. The first guy we should talk about is James Togba. Kansas City defender, 18 goals, 8 assists, 12 blocks in 23 games last year. Big step up from the previous year.
Huge. Well, it was just the fact that, the 2017 season into the 2018 season, going just the huge improvement between the two. I mean, it's just night and day. So I mean, I think we can expect to see a lot from Togba, especially trying to supplement what we already have with, say, Jake Schindler and
Slav.
Yeah, the rest of the defense, the rest of the team. I think as long as they can coalesce, that's the thing with any time you get new players is can they coalesce? Can they do they work well together, or are they just going to be trying to overlap? Is there going to be a lot of overlap in talent, a lot of overlap in what they can do, and their styles? I mean, between that and just they have to all learn each other and work together.
But obviously excited to welcome him. I would say, given his stats last year, when you add him to Schindler and Toby, the reigning defender of the year, and Logan Roberts and Ben Raymond, Utica has to have one of the best, if not the best, back line in the MASL.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I mean, Darren Toby, winning Defender of the Year. I mean, it was well deserved last year. Absolutely. He had one hell of a performance the entire year, and it was always, on point. Just that the whole squad the whole defensive squad, definitely had a great year. I'm hoping to see more from them for sure.
Well, even honestly, the first season, it was kind of amazing to watch Logan, because he actually stepped into his own. Because at first it was kind of, well, there's this kid there he is, and all of a sudden he just broke out and
earned that nickname.
He earned the nickname.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The next big signing ended up being Ricardo Diegues. Took him from Florida. I think that was a day or two after it was announced that Duro was moving to Florida. Mm-hmm. So, kind of retaliation, if you want to think about it, in the free agency period.
Mm-hmm.
Diegues has played all 3 seasons for the Tropics. He's averaged over 20 goals a season during that time. Averaged just shy of 10 assists. Solid attacker. How do you think that fits in with our top attackers right now, like Mujin and Captain Bo, Ubi Parapovic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think we'll all be very interested to see, what he can do. Again, integrating with our squad. We've seen a lot from Bo. We've seen a lot. We know a lot of the different things that say Bo can do on the field, and being able to integrate that with some of the things that Ricardo can do, as well as Slav. I mean, that's again, it's just like It's just like the defense. They have to coalesce, and I'd be curious to see what happens. If we see any preseason games, or if we see like a black and blue game like last year, and being able to see kind of
who was actually coming to Utica.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I mean, like everyone said, Bo is versatile. Bo is Bo knows he's good at what he does. Slav knows he's good at what he does. Muj, he was a big pickup from Florida again. And even you've got some of the people who, like Lucio Gonzaga, he was a kind of a sleeper to start, and then when he's on the front line, that's it. He's going to get at least one goal a game if he's on the front line.
Mm-hmm. To my knowledge, I think Gonzaga is actually the last unsigned big name free agent from last year's Utica City team. Don't know how that fits in with roster constraints at the moment, because we had 3 leave and we've had 5 come in.
Well, yeah 3 leave, 1 injury, and 5 come in. So, I mean, you gotta kind of strengthen up your ranks now.
Last weekend, or the last day, I think it was, of the free agency period was when Utica announced the next 2 signings. Moises Moy Gonzalez and Diego Zuniga. Moy had played for Syracuse. I can say I spoke with Matt Huber, FC Fanatic, about that, and he was very excited about this signing. Could only say the best things about Moy. Sounds like he's gonna mesh really good returning to this team.
Well, yeah, the fact that he's already had experience with, at least a portion of the team, I mean, that always helps. Coming into familiar faces versus,
Not
coming
knowing
into
anybody.
a brand new squad, and I mean, only seeing them from the opposite end of the field. I mean, that always helps with any new, or I should say, returning teammates.
Mm-hmm. That kind of puts us Diegues. He's another attacker, midfield. I'm sorry, not Diegues. Zuniga. 22 goals, 2 assists, 9 blocks in his first season. So this is only going to be his second season in the league. Are we thinking we're going to get another big jump from first year to second year like we've seen with Roberts and Tagba and a lot of these guys? Or just due to the depth and limit on playing time and rotations that we're going to have, we're going to see more of the same?
I mean, you always hope that they're going to do good when they come in. I mean, you always want to see them excel. But being that we've only seen 1 season from him, I mean, he at least puts up respectable numbers. I mean, the fact that you've got 22 goals in your initial
first season,
I mean, it shows that you're at least performing. I mean, some people don't necessarily see that on their first time out of the gate.
Yeah.
If they can even see the playing time. So the fact that they played him as much as they had, that speaks to the raw talent that Diego has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like we got a lot of guys that are going to feast offensively this year. Whereas in a few teams out west, Milwaukee, you're seeing guys getting 40, 50 goals in a 24-game season. Last year, Utica didn't have anybody do that. And I think it's going to be more the same just because of the depth of talent.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're again. I think it's definitely a good season for Utica to be pretty excited about what's coming up.
All right. That leaves us with one more new signing. Juros Momic goes by the nickname Momo.
He'll fit right in. Mo.
I don't know if you guys remember this. He played for the Lancers when we went and saw him.
Oh
Okay.
my god, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
remember Momo.
Okay.
going out
Yeah.
to the
Outdoor
summer-
The
Lancers.
outdoor soccer team, yeah.
Yes.
going out there this year and watching the Lancers so we can go out and support Schindler, Coughlin, Toby. Having seen Momo kind of perform out there in the outdoor setting,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's one of those things. How well does that, of course, translate to indoor? Being, going from a much larger field to the more constrained setting. I mean, definitely the fact that he will already, again, the fact that he'll already have chemistry with the team, with at least some of the team. I mean, that's always a good starting point. But I don't know. I think I'll be interested to see what he can do in the indoor setting. Could be good, could be a flop, but only time will tell.
I mean, yeah, the ball bounces differently. The field's a heck of a lot shorter, heck of a lot narrower.
Well, I mean, one of the biggest things that a lot of the teams have said, and a lot of our own players have said, the fans, us, we
can help make or break a game.
And the way that, the fans are able to influence the flow of a game. I mean, that's one thing that you definitely don't have in the outdoor setting. You can't hear, the fans as much. You can't.
Well, depending on level. Because NPSL, where all of our guys play in the summer, is a lot smaller than, I mean, MLS or
Accurate.
EPL, La Liga.
But still, it's more. I'm thinking you have to think about it more of the exterior space versus an enclosed space.
Outdoors.
Once you have that interior setting and you've got the sound reverberation and just all those people and all the sound being generated in that one small space, it changes things. It changes just how everything feels. It changes the atmosphere, and that does a lot for any of these players.
I was going to say, outdoors, the sound has some place to go. Indoors, it doesn't.
It's very true.
But Momo's signing came shortly after we learned of a loss of a player due to injury. Michelle, you want to take this?
It was kind of a shock because seeing Mo post something on Facebook that said, well, I might be hurt, and then all of a sudden he comes out with, well, hey, guess what, tore my ACL, and it felt like it just kind of stopped for a second, and just, what?
Yeah, I mean, seeing Mo following, the players on social media, seeing just what they do, not only on the field, but just off the field.
Who they are off the field.
Who they are, trying to connect with the players. And I mean, once you see that, they're doing, you always get worried when they're doing something on the off season that could potentially
injure them,
affect them going into the season, specifically in this case where, you get a torn ACL. I mean, Mo was definitely, he may not have been our highest goal scorer, but he was a
playmaker.
He was a playmaker. He definitely helped throughout the season. A lot of setups. I mean, he had the huge goal in the mini game.
One goal.
Hey, he still
it was
helped
still
make
a score.
goal.
Yeah, put us on the board.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't just the setting people up. He was the person that could do the breakaways and get the ball back when we needed it, and get it, like you said, then get it set up for somebody else to take care of.
He was a playmaker.
Yeah, and it's...
So he definitely will be...
It sucks.
He will be sorely missed this season, for sure.
Well, from all of us here at Keeper's Corner Podcast, Mo, if you're listening, and for anyone Utica that doesn't know who we're talking about, that's Mo Kenaway. Rest up, get better, go through the rehab, take the time to get to 100%.
Don't rush it.
But once you're at 100%, please come back.
Please come back. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Actually, it's not even a please. You will come back.
You need to come back.
You need to.
So that was a tough loss. Next two don't get any easier.
No, they do not.
No.
Absolutely not.
Nope.
Mentioned this guy earlier. Steven DeRue, 2 goals, 6 assists, 12 blocks. Whenever he had the ball, it was quick change of direction. He'd accelerate quickly. When he scored, we got a front flip out of it.
Yep. Was it front or back?
Yes.
It was a flip.
It was a flip.
It was a flip. Is it back? Okay.
Now, he was definitely a showman,
Yep.
and he definitely knew how to get the crowd into it. A lot of them did. A lot of them had that.
The signature that they did.
Yep.
Steve DeRue had the backflip. Bo has the fist pump.
Joey's Peter Pan.
Pan. You've got... I know, I'm going to miss the Peter Pan. You've got Logan Superman.
Yep.
And then you've got Coughlin, who randomly just decides to chuck a ball down a field and get it into an empty net. Hey.
As long as that rule doesn't change.
Yeah.
But he was kind of the first domino to fall for the Florida Tropics. Then they got a few more big signings and capped it off not 10 minutes before the end of
Free agency.
the open period.
Held out as long as possible.
I will say I knew this one was coming. I won't say how I knew, but Joey Tavernese.
Joey was even shocked by it. He held out hoping Utica would have re-signed him. He actually said he loved it here. He loved the fans. He loved the atmosphere that we created. He loved...
Well, I mean, even before, again, he was another one of those ones that came from Syracuse. He had been with the Syracuse team
was
for
his home.
X amount of years. He had plenty of chemistry with all those guys.
Yeah.
And then to
Be
not get
uprooted.
re-signed and basically have to...
Shown the door.
Yeah, basically, getting the shaft, basically.
Yeah,
I mean,
because,
that's not what you want to see. And the fact that, he didn't have a great playoff season, or a great playoff, but showing just because he was injured. But he played. He still played
injured. He played sick.
And
he had a broken arm, and he still played.
Scored 2 goals in the playoffs as well.
Scored 2 goals in the playoffs, but he was actually...
He threw his heart and soul into it, and then he threw it and into the games, into the organization, and then to
be sucker
kind
punched.
of have them turn their back.
I mean, obviously we don't know what happened went on behind closed doors.
Obviously, speculation.
But to lose somebody who in 22 games scored 20 goals, had 14 assists, 6 blocks, and how many goals has he had over the last however many seasons he's been with the MASL? He's had close to 100.
Mm-hmm.
And
pretty sure he's had more than that, but still,
he may have.
He's had quite a few goals. He's had, a heck of a showing.
Yeah.
Over the years, he's definitely a player that we really sorely could have kept, and the fact that we didn't, I mean, it was truly unfortunate, and he will definitely be missed.
Yeah, he 2 goals in his first season with Westchester, 18 goals in 2011, 20 goals in 2012, 45 for Rochester from 2012 to 2015, 4 for the year of 2015, and then 74 from the years 2015 until 2019, which is now
5 seasons.
Yeah, which was the Syracuse Silver Knights, which turned into the Utica City Football Club.
So roughly, 150 goals, roughly.
Roughly.
And
And to lose that is just...
He was was another one that was a playmaker. I mean, there was... It's truly unfortunate to see him go. But when Joey comes back, he comes back to the field, coming with Florida. Same thing goes for Giroux. We're still going to be welcoming them back before the game and after the game.
Just hopefully we win.
Yeah, Michelle, you reach out to Joey on Twitter or Facebook and tell him when he comes back he's getting a beer. So,
Yep.
Joey, if you're listening, we'll see you at 72 after that game.
Like always.
That kind of wraps up the off-season, at least team-related.
Mm-hmm.
Schedule is released tomorrow from when we're recording this. Most likely today, if you're listening. We don't know the length of it yet. We do know with the change from divisions to conferences, we should see a little more diversity. And I do know that there is a slight change to the schedule that guarantees diversity, and it's something the fans were demanding. In the
English, you do so well.
Yes. They demanded a lot in the MASL off-the-wall Facebook group last year. So, hopefully you're surprised, and if you already know, hopefully you're happy with it. Next week, hopefully we can do a breakdown of the schedule. Like I said, we're hoping to record every week. I'd like to release every Monday as long as we can. Scheduling,
aside.
Yeah.
We'll always try and get it out every week, but, things happen. Life happens.
Yeah.
That being said, for updates, you can follow us on Twitter at Keepers Corner Pod. You can find our Facebook page. We post in the MASL group.
I'm just more excited about the diversity because it felt like, honestly, last year, every other game was against Baltimore.
6 games.
Six games. It's like,
that's
come
a
on.
quarter of your season.
Yeah.
3/4 of the season were spent playing the same 3 teams.
Yep.
Over
And
over.
But yet Florida isn't Florida in the Eastern Conference too?
So Florida, Orlando, there's 10 teams.
Now, I think it'll definitely be an interesting season, regardless. Of course, like every team, we always want to see us. Always want to see our team go all the way. That's not going to be that's not going to be any different with Utica. Of course, we want to see them get another Eastern Conference championship. We want to see them at least see them in the Ron Newman Cup. We want to get that far. We want to strive to be the best, and we have the tools to do it. It's just a matter of keeping up the pace throughout the entire season. Hoping for as minimal injuries as we can. You can never completely rule them out because 9 times out of 10 they're going to happen.
It's a rough sport.
It's in any sport.
It's hockey, soccer. I mean,
Kind of, yeah.
But Ryan also knows what his guys can do. He knows when to pull people out and put people in.
Mm-hmm.
He knows exactly who clicks together and who doesn't. And I guess we'll see what Ryan has in store for us this year.
Absolutely, yeah. It'll definitely be. I think regardless, we're going to be in for one heck of a season.
Yeah, I'm more looking forward to traveling to more away games. Hopefully, God willing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just see what happens.
Any big predictions for the season?
Utica's going to win.
Utica, Ron Newman Cup. All right,
Yep.
Brandon, you're on the record.
Fine.
Same.
Michelle?
Same. I at least.
What else can you say?
I'm going to say that we're going to have another conference under our belt. Another conference championship under our belt.
Well, we had division, so that means we'd have to leapfrog
No, that's true. Yeah.
Milwaukee
Well, I want
to take the conference.
Yeah, and Milwaukee's tough.
I mean, they lost some to Florida, too. Florida Tropics, you guys kind of poached off the rest of the league. You got vastly improved. So my prediction is Florida, which really
gonna be a good
wasn't
competitor.
in the hunt too much last year.
Is going to be a contender this year.
If they're not the 3 seed in the East, they're definitely going to be the 4 seed. Your Eastern playoff teams are going to be Milwaukee, Utica, Baltimore, Florida.
And Florida. Yep.
But I don't want to go any crazier than that.
Yeah.
All right. So that'll do it for us. Like we said, give us a follow on Twitter. Give us a like on Facebook. Until next week, I'm Matt.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Michelle.
Thank you for listening.